In this video, we're going to do a few examples where we have to find the value of a logarithm. Okay, so let's go and start with letter A. First step, so I'm trying to evaluate log base 3 of 81, right? This equals a number, so I'm trying to find what is that number. First step is I go ahead and set this equal to y, and then I rewrite this in exponential form. So the base is the base is 3. The exponent is y, and it equals 81. Okay, so now I just need to think of, what power do you need to bring 3 to get 81? Well, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81. So there you go. 3 to the 4th is 81. So y then equals 4. And that's well, actually I shouldn't do that. So what you should say at the end is you should say, well, okay, so log base 3 of 81 equals 4. Right, same thing, let's go ahead and do this again. So here I have a log base 10 of 1. First thing I do is I set it equal to y. I say 10 to the y equals 1. Well, there's only one power I can bring 10 to and get 1, and that's 0. Right? If you bring anything to the 1 power, you get 0. So y equals 0. So log base 10 of 1 equals 0. And this is actually a rule, which we'll get to in the next video. But if you take the log of any base, but it's a log of 1, it'll always equal 0. Okay, let's go ahead and do another example. Okay, so here we have log base 1/4 of 64. So I'm going to set that equal to y. And the base is 1/4. It's to the power y, and it equals 64. I'm going to go ahead and flip it, so I'll have 4 to the negative y power equals 64. Now these are the same thing because 1/4 is the same as 4 to the negative 1. So that's negative. So if 1/4 to y, that would be 4 to the negative y. Okay, what power do I need to bring 4 to get 64? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, times another 4 is 64. So that means that negative y must equal 3. Okay, so if negative y equals 3, then y equals negative 3. So what's your answer? Log of log base 1/4 of 64 equals negative 3. Okay, now let's do this one here. I'm going to do it in a different color because I'm running out. I'm getting a little confused between here. So, okay. So I have log 9 of 9 equals y. So the base is 9. It's the y power, and it equals 9. Well, there's only one thing y can be. Y must equal 1. So log of 9 equals 1. And this is another rule that we're going to talk about in the next video. But if you take the log of the base and of what you're taking the log of, these two things match, it's always going to equal 1, which makes sense because, if you say it's, you're bringing it to what power, would you get the same thing? Well, 1, right? Okay, so that's the answer to this. Log base 9 of 9 is 1. Let's do more examples. Okay, so in example E, let's go ahead and set this equal to y. So the base is 5, okay? The exponent is y, and then that's going to equal 5 to the 4th. Well, clearly y equals 4, right? Because you have 5 to the y equals 5 to the 4. So these two need to match. So y equals 4. Okay, so you would write this as log base 5 to the 4th equals 4. And this is a rule that we're going to talk about in the next video. If these two match, and then you have a power, your answer is always going to be the power, okay? Which is kind of the same rule that, if in the previous example it was log base 9 of 9 equals 1, right? Because the power of 9 is 1, okay? So this is the answer to this one. All right, last example. It looks a little complicated, but it's not that bad. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to look at this one, and then I'll take 7 to whatever that is. So I have log base 7 of 49. Okay. Now, so if I were to set this equal to y to try to solve it, so the base is 7, the power is y, and that's 49. So y equals 2. So the log base 7 of 49 equals 2. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and plug that in here. So then I'll have 7, instead of 7 to the power of log base 7 of 49, now know what log base 7 of 49 is. It's 2, so I'm going to plug that in. So this equals 49. Okay, so do you notice that like basically these canceled? So you're left with just basically 49. Alright, so that's a rule as well, and we're going to do that in the next video. But, you know, if you're taking 7 to the power of log and then these two match, 7 and 7 match, then, you know, the answer is just whatever you're taking the log of that's in the power. Okay, so obviously, so in the next video, I'm going to give a bunch of rules that will kind of help in solving these. Of course, you can always do the steps that I just did, but if you know the rules or the properties of log, sometimes it's faster to get to the answer.